Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BSing Sports. I'm Bill. That's Ryan with me as always, and of course our seasonal host Tim. We want to thank everybody who joins eventually because nobody's actually watching right this second. Just a few things right here off the top of the hour. We've got Ryan has posted a comment on Facebook. We've got a giveaway for anybody who can answer what 9 baseball stadiums Ryan has not been to. We will give you a free BSing Sports merchandise of your choice. That'd be a hat like one of these with the patches. I have some hats that are going to be embroidered with BSing Sports on the way. And we obviously have shirts. We haven't really dabbled in like leggings or pants. If any girl answers it, apologies. But we have shirts and hats and some other minor merchandise that we might be able to work out for you.
Free, guys. All it takes is a share.
All you got to do is share the post that Ryan made yesterday. We will share it again after the show, and then comment and try and guess all 9 stadiums. It's really not that difficult. What's the worst that happens? You get them wrong, right?
Yeah.
That's the worst that happens. So going into our show today, Tim,
What
the Toronto series in Philadelphia.
Toronto series in Philadelphia. Let me see.
I didn't even realize the Phillies were in Toronto. I don't even think they did.
At that point, me either, technically. I know we lost game 1, 4-3. I know Stout had a 2-run home run.
And that game 1 was a lot closer than it should have been. It felt like the Phillies were losing by 6 runs the whole game.
Yeah. And then
Which they were, but in the second game.
Yes. Game 2, it looked like Wheeler, after the first couple innings, didn't have what he had normally.
Yeah, I think maybe the All-Star snub kind of got to him a little bit, but whatever. It is what it is.
It don't help that Toronto also had a fair advantage against
Toronto's home record this year is 28-19, and their road record's 20-24.
Okay, I stand
they
corrected.
They would be the worst team in the AL East if they did not play incomplete teams at home every series.
Yep.
Yeah, which is really a surprise considering how young they are and as good as they have been in recent history. They obviously fired their manager in the middle of the Philadelphia series, much like the Phillies did a month and a half ago with Joe Girardi. And then a few weeks later, the Angels with Joe Madden.
So
the Phillies have been involved in all 3 firings of managers this year.
That is correct. Girardi obviously is theirs. The Angels fired Joe Madden right after the Philadelphia Phillies series, and then now Toronto fires who was it? Hernandez.
Montoya.
Sorry.
So why did they fire him? Like
underperformance of the team this season.
Vladimir Guerrero's reaction during that instant replay kind of said the whole thing that you need to see. Obviously, none of the players followed his lead. Nobody really respected his decisions. So when you lose the locker room like that, it really doesn't matter what your record is. You're going to get fired.
True. Fair enough.
Cut and dry, yeah, basically. We'll come back to the Phillies. I know we're going to jump around here a little bit. We will come back to the Phillies. Let's talk about for starters. We've been getting a few questions offline, and then we don't answer them, and then we're getting questioned as to why we don't answer them. The answer is pretty simple. We have a show, so if you ask us a question off air, we're going to answer the question.
Ask us a question off air. We'll answer it on the show. But if you guys could do us a favor and just save your questions for the show, it makes the show that much more better. And we need that much more better. Dummy, that much better. And the fan interaction is crucial. We need fan interaction from you guys while we're on the air. So for the 3 of you that are currently watching, if you have any questions, please light us up with them.
All right, Tanya, we'll come back to your question. The first question we got was off air. It was the Phillies going to be sellers or buyers or stand pat at the trade deadline. I will let Timmy go first.
Yeah, let Timmy go first.
I think there would be buyers.
The only time Timmy's let off in his whole career.
Fair enough. I like batting fifth, but I think the Phillies will be buyers this trade deadline area. We need another starter and maybe a little bullpen help.
Can never have too much pitching.
And maybe a couple of bench guys, really. I'm not saying they would go out and go sign big names, but little guys can help here and there.
Juan Soto can help too.
Yeah,
we can't afford the $440 million he's looking for.
But he just denied.
I don't think it was the price tag is the reason that he denied it.
I think it's the team.
Yeah, he absolutely 1,000% does not want to play in DC.
That's why Bryce Harper left.
If you think about it, the last couple of years, he's not. The Nationals have a trend of this. I know Scherzer was traded because they were bad last year. Turner was traded because they were bad last year. But these are also two players who probably in the locker room had already said, like, I'm not coming back. And then obviously you have Harper leaving. You're talking a team that brought him up. It's superstar status, just like Juan Soto, superstar status, and now they don't want to stay. So there's got to be something going on in the Nationals front office where they just like don't care for elite talent, and they just don't know how to keep it happy.
Yeah, it sounds like the owner's not willing to shell out the money that's required to keep the talent that he's drafting, because they breed pretty good talent. I mean, you look up and down the lineup. Trey Turner was homegrown talent. Steven Strasburg, homegrown talent, although they paid him. Max Scherzer, not homegrown talent, but Bryce Harper and Juan Soto certainly were. So it just looks like the owner's not willing to shell out the cash.
All right. Anyway, back to the question. We'll go to the Soto thing. We really will. The question, Ryan, take over on the question.
For what?
Are the Phillies buyers or sellers?
Oh, they're not doing anything at the deadline. They're standing right pat where they are. A couple different reasons. One, the big reason, money. They just money is a big issue always. It's like pulling teeth to get John Middleton to spend money that he does have, let alone money that he doesn't have. Secondly, they're an okay team. I mean, they're not one piece away. They're not. You could get Juan Soto at the deadline. They're still not going to win a World Series, in my opinion. So I think it's just kind of useless at this point to go out and get one piece that doesn't make any sense to me.
All right, let me before I answer, let me give Frankie a shout out. Ryan was on his show earlier today. They had a ton of views. So Frankie, why don't you send some of your viewers at us? But thank you for having Ryan on. It's always good to represent the best we can. And from what I understand, I was a little bit busy, but from what I understand, it was a really good show. So again, thank Frankie for having Ryan on.
Fantastic show. It was awesome. Thanks, Frank. But yeah, and anyway, and to be sellers, as a team that is a fringe playoff contender, that's just for a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 12 years, it's idiotic, stupid.
Yeah, so I'm also a they stand pat kind of individual, simply because you've got players who are coming back who are going to contribute. So you are
acquisitions, your Seguras, your Harpers, your Suarez who's starting today. Eflin will come back eventually. Those will be your deadline acquisitions. So.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. You've got these pieces that are coming back. You got last year's MVP, and had he not gotten injured this season, maybe even running this year's MVP race as well. And Bryce Harper coming back late September or late August, early September. You got Gene Segura on the same timeline, a guy who hits 292 his entire career. He's just a ground ball / put ball in play machine, which is really important with a lineup like the Phillies. You got guys who can get on. And then you're just not moving them over. You're not playing small ball because then you got big bats in the lineup. They're only trying to do one thing. Cassianos, I'm looking at you. And it's causing issues.
Trying to strike out. Is that what
apparently? Did you see the strikeout that he had the other night? 3 pitches down the middle of the
I was about to say which one, because his first 2 at-bats, he swung at 6 pitches and missed all 6 of them.
Yeah, he's going to have to get it figured out. I'm not in panic mode yet.
I'm convinced Kevin Long doesn't do any work with him in the cages. I'm convinced that
it's a 2-1 shot.
Yeah, I've seen that. JT's been killing his old team this series so far with the clutch double let yesterday. He even got on base 2 other times yesterday. So he's been killing the Marlins right now. But yeah, no, Nick Castellanos has been a disaster so far. And I feel like that really, unless it's Bryce Harper, I feel like once Bryce Harper kind of went out of the lineup, Kevin Long just kind of stopped working as a hitting coach. Like nobody's making any sort of adjustments at the plate. Nobody's really – yeah, that's like the big thing is nobody's gotten significantly better. Nick Castellanos leads the team in hits over the last 2.5 weeks, but all of them have been singles.
So
and he's doing it with nobody on. Sorry, go ahead, Timmy.
So I said this the other day in the group chat. From what I see with Nick Castellanos is he's too far off the plate. It looks like he always tries to drive it, pull it, but he's too far off the plate to even do anything to touch the ball. When every time the ball goes outside, he swings and misses.
He's suffering.
Fair, he should just stop swinging at sliders down in a way that are 6 inches off the plate and
at
his shins.
You're right.
Yeah, he's suffering from Ryan Howard syndrome at the end of his career, where he just could not lay off anything that was spinning away. And it's weird for Castellanos to be doing that because Ryan
Castellanos is a much better pure hitter than Ryan Howard ever was.
Exactly. So it's a little weird for Castellanos to be dealing with that right now. Now, like I said, I know there are other people who are freaking out over the contract that we gave Castellanos. It's half of one season of his contract. I'm not in panic mode. However, I would agree that he does need to kick it up a little bit. He needs to get this figured out, and he needs to start contributing, especially if they are a playoff fringe.
To be honest with you, if he gets hot down the stretch and hits 300 in the second half, all is well for me.
And I would concur. If he comes out of the All-Star break lacing the ball, I'm in.
Alec Boehm, interestingly enough, has seen 2 pitches in his first game back and has swung at both of them.
So he's fine to me.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm surprised he actually
played aggressive, but it's fine by me. Whatever, guy in scoring position, you'd like to see him swing at strikes, so it is what it is.
I'm surprised he even playing this series, to be honest.
They said he was going to play to tolerance. He sat 3 games. That's fine.
Okay.
To be fair, if Harper was in the lineup, Segura was in the lineup, if Castellanos was hitting, it'd probably be a different story. But we're scratching the bottom of the barrel here.
Yeah, the rest of the guys on the team are starting to press. They're starting to look like Hunter Pence in 2011 out there, or 2012 rather. They're just pressing because everybody's injured and not competing.
What an awkward baseball player.
That swing was terrible.
You know what though? When he was with the Phillies, I loved him.
Everything he did was just weird, dude. The way that he ran, the way that he hit, the way that he threw, everything was just so unorthodox. Like, all right, whatever that guy's doing, don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, he won. What did he win? 3 World Series with the Giants?
No, because he was with the Phillies in 2010.
Okay, so
he was still with the Rangers.
He was still with the Astros, yeah.
Yeah, Astros, that's what it was. So, I think he won 2. He won at least 1. I know he won 1, but I don't remember when he went to the Rangers. So,
all right, we have another question. This one's from Tanya. What do you think of the home run contest matchups? I don't know who the actual matchups are. I just know who.
I know Pujols is facing Schwarber.
Okay, so I mean, Schwarber comes out on top of that one, unless it's rigged.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's rigged. I honestly I wouldn't mind seeing Kyle Schwarber win, but in all honesty, the home run derby is kind of whatever to me. In all honesty, which is kind of a surprise. But
I got the matchups for you, Bill. You got Juan Soto versus Jose Ramirez.
JT with a 2-run home run.
We said that already.
Yeah, we said that 3 minutes ago, dude.
I'm sorry, I'm hosting a podcast.
Hey, me too.
And then Peter Alonso versus Acuna Jr., Corey Seager versus Julio Rodriguez.
All right, give me Seager over J-Rod. Give me J-Ram over Soto. Going upset over there. And then Schwarber over Pujols and
Acuna over whoever he's in against.
Alonso.
No, give me Alonso. Give me Alonso. Give me Alonso.
Yeah. Surprised Polar Bear didn't get the first seed. I mean, he's a 2-time champ.
That's a good point.
True.
Yeah. So in the comment section, anybody else have any more questions? Fire away with them. Until then, Ryan, Timmy, and I are just kind of spitball here about stuff.
Yeah, but so I mean, there was a pretty heated chat in one of our fantasy football leagues earlier about we have a Yankees fan and a Red Sox fan. That was a very interesting conversation.
I haven't had an opportunity to go back and look at that conversation because I was out all day. So
there was a lot, but to sum it up, they were just talking trash. And then I brought up the Phillies, and Davis was like, "You're salty about 2009." I was like, "No, I'm not." You're salty. He was like, "To be fair, I hate most Yankees fans anyway." To be fair, Davis isn't all Yankees fans because he'd been bragging about that shit months ago, and I didn't even know he was a Yankees fan.
True.
But then I brought up, I was like, "You're just mad that." Or brought up how they used to spit on Cliff Lee's wife or whatever, and I was like, yeah, that's just because they were mad that Cliff Lee did not spit on his dick before he raped him. But Cliff Lee used to dominate the Yankees. It was incredible to watch, no matter what team he was on: Texas, Seattle, Cleveland. Philly.
Yeah, that 5th inning catch, the nonchalant catch that he had in the Game 1 of the World Series in 2009.
Yeah, yeah, that was an incredible one, dude. Is Moniak done with the Phillies? Probably.
I agree. He's not hitting, so.
I mean, yeah, he's not hitting, but I mean, Stott's not too consistent either. They just give up on young guys too easily. They'll probably, if they do make a trade, they'll probably package him in there somewhere so that way he can they can use the excuse to start Odubel for whatever reason.
They should not in any way, shape, or form give up on Stott. simply because A, he is younger than Mickey Moniak, and B, he's got more raw talent, I think, than Mickey Moniak does. So giving up on him because he's hitting 200 under 200 this season would be a little bit absurd in my opinion. You got to give him a few seasons, let him see big league pitching for a few years. There are times where he hits the ball really well. Stott, this is.
Let's talk about Veerling, dude. After you're done talking about Stott.
Okay. Yeah. So there are so there are times I'm pulling this one up. Thank you,
Matthew Hutchinson. We agree. Here from BSing Sports, we agree with that hot take.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So yeah, Stott hits the ball really hard. A lot of times he gets unfortunate with placement. A lot of line drives right at guys. So he'll get it figured out. So giving up on Bryson Stott, I think, would be a massive mistake for the Phillies. Talking about Veerling, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, so I like Matt Veerling. Like, in all honesty, like, he is no way, shape, or form a long-term answer at center field, I feel like. However, dude's a baller. And this is going to be a controversial statement. Guy reminds me a lot of Chase Utley, just in the sense that he goes out there and he plays baseball. Like that, he's going to run hard. He's going to make every play at 100%, whether he actually completes the play or not. He's going to chase every ball down to center field like he's crash rowing. He's going to take every rollover to the shortstop very seriously. He's going to bust down the line every play. That dude is not taking any plays off. I would gladly have Matt Veerling on my 26-man roster every single day of the week. That guy plays baseball hard, and he should be starting in center field considering he's batting over 300 since June 1st.
Go ahead, Timmy.
I like Veerling. He made really good plays in the last couple games that he played in the center field, and he hitting the ball well. He finding holes right now, so it really all that matters. He hit the ball, and like Ryan said, he's the young Chase Utley right now. Hustle down the line, not afraid to give out his.
Does everything right.
Exactly.
I like his hustle comparison to Utley. Obviously, he's not the talent that Utley was. Yeah. But I do like his hustle. I do get flashes of Utley-esque plays, like when he dove. Was it last Thursday night? He dove, face planted in the ground, but made a catch in center field. But these are things that you just don't get out of Odubel Herrera, and it's just blunt. You don't get those things out of Odubel Herrera. And those are the kinds of things those are the kinds of things that teams can rally around. When you make a big play like that, you go out there and you give up the body to a point to make a good play. Teams can rally around that, especially when they're struggling, which right now the Phillies are. Ken asked us last week what the heck was wrong with the Phillies, and I responded, they went through 45 days of playing great baseball. They were bound to kind of fall off a little bit, and that's what they're doing. I wouldn't panic. But
no, I'm not in panic mode. I think they'll be fine. But when you go on a stretch winning 8 out of 10 series, you're bound to lose one. It's just odds are. Nothing in baseball is really predictable, in all honesty. I think outside of baseball, like the NHL playoffs, like baseball's easily the most unpredictable thing in sports. So you just play too many games for everything that makes sense to happen. It's not like the NFL where there's only 17 games played during the regular season.
And in the NFL, when you're a bad team, you can be exposed for being a bad team. You know what I'm saying? So like the Lions, for instance, start the season last year 0-7. Now they came on at the end of the season. They started playing really, really well for Dan Campbell. But the Lions last year in the NFL, it was easy to see that teams that were on the field across from them were just a better team. In the NFL, it's way harder to mask poor talent, whereas in baseball, 162 game season, those guys who aren't supposed to be. Go ahead.
Every team in baseball is going to win 50 games. Every team in baseball is going to lose 50 games. Minus the 2001 Mariners. But the point still stands of there's going to be they have to win games. There's no team that's going to go 162-0, and there's no team that's going to go 0-162. It's never going to happen. I mean, Christ, look at the Orioles. We thought they were the worst team in baseball, and now they're above 500.
Yeah, that's a good division right there, man.
Yeah, like I said, if Toronto wasn't being aided by playing incomplete teams at home every week, they would be the worst team in the AL East.
Absolutely.
Yeah, another team that's playing really, really well, 11 out of 12, Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, the Mariners are – I mean, this is right about the time the Mariners get scorching hot and then, get within 2 games of a playoff race, and then they just go –
right back down, yeah.
Every year.
They'll miss the playoffs by about 6 games. Sorry, Seth, if you're watching this. I always make fun of you for that every year.
I know they won last night off a walk-off grand slam in the 12th.
Dude, J-Rod's been killing it, though. Mm-hmm. Julio Rodriguez?
I mean –
I think that was your boy. I think you highlighted him as your prospect to watch coming into the season, Bill.
I did indeed highlight him as my prospect to watch. And obviously he's holding up to that, which I think is cool that I bait. Ryan should rank the top 21 MLB stadium.
You almost got me. Almost got me. That's a good one.
That's good. well played, Steve.
You gotta bring the question up, or I'll bring it up, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it.
Yeah.
So again, we're giving a giveaway for people who can guess what 9 stadiums Ryan hasn't been to. Timmy's wife.
I mean, I did write an entire article on a 10-stadium trip in 10 days that I did, so that eliminates almost half of the stadiums that I have seen.
That is up right now on BSingSports
website, which is BSingSports.com.
Correct.
It fits the theme here. Everything that we do is BSing Sports, so we might as well name the website BSingSports.com. Go ahead.
Truthfully, I was surprised the domain was available.
Well, it's not anymore.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, yeah.
But
yes, talking about prospects. The Julio Rodriguez, he was my prospect to watch coming into the season. He's obviously playing really well. But young talent, young homegrown talent. You talked about it on the Nationals. We're talking about it with the Mariners. We're talking about it with the Orioles. Even Adley Rutschman's been hitting pretty well. You just don't ever hear that from the Phillies anymore. You don't have homegrown talent coming up in Philadelphia anymore, and it's a shame, really.
It's criminally bad across most Philadelphia sports. I'll leave the Eagles out of it because football's a little bit different. But it's criminally embarrassing about the lack of development. And I talked about this on the show with Frankie and the Flyers earlier. Like it's bad. They draft well. They make the right decisions. Like I know back in 2016 when Mickey Moniak was drafted number 1 overall, there wasn't a clear-cut number 1 overall. Could have went a couple different ways. However, Mickey Moniak was the best high school hitter that year. So drafting him number 1 overall did make sense. They just failed to develop him. Bryson Stott, I'm glad that they're not leaving him in the minor leagues forever, giving him a chance to fail at his development. Same thing with Alec Bohm. Maybe they're starting to realize that they just don't do it well, and they're just calling these guys up right away, which is fantastic. But at the same time, it's not good for these guys either. So I think they need to figure out a lot of these issues in the minor leagues because Cornelius Randolph was 2015 first-round pick, and he fell flat on his face. Nobody even really knows who he is. So I'm hoping that they don't make those mistakes with the pitchers, though. They seem to be pretty good about the pitchers, your Cole Hamels, your Aaron Nolas, and I'm specifically referring to Mick Abel and Andrew Painter.
So how can the minor league go about fixing the way they develop players?
I think that they hold them down too long, and
maybe.
What's up? Maybe is anybody out there going to tell me I look good today? Damn, man.
Ryan, you look good today, buddy.
No, you look down. I need a comment on the screen. But anyway, I think there's a pattern, and they did it to Ryan Howard too, although he kind of, was the outlier, is they just hold these guys down too long, and not specifically in AAA. They just keep guys down in single A too. Like, why is Mick Abel still in high single A? He's been pitching pretty well in the minors. Didn't even spell my name right. God dang it. But didn't even spell my name right. I look tasty. Ooh. Yeah, we can't get none of this right, guys. I'll chalk this up as an L today. We'll move forward from here. But but yeah, I mean, it's I just think that they hold them down too long. You got a guy that's playing well and they don't promote him. And they did the exact opposite with Andrew Painter. They promoted him out of low single A to high single A after about 24 innings when he struck out like 50 guys, which is fantastic. That's what needs to happen. If he's not going to get any better, if that level of competition is not going to challenge him to be the best pitcher or player he can be, he has no business being there.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I concur 100%. Like Ryan said, just the absolute lack of growth. He mentioned Ryan Howard. Obviously, we had Jim Thome here for a while, and I mean that's a big name. That's a big bat. Keep Ryan Howard down, but there were ways to get Howard in the lineup, and they just weren't doing it, even with Thome on the roster. And it was unfortunate. Ryan Howard comes up his rookie season, 2005. What's he hit? 48 home runs or whatever it is. Hits 302. Like, it's a guy that should have been up sooner.
The second piece to that is if you look at the bats they've drafted, It's contact hitters. It's gap guys. It's guys that don't drive the ball out of the ballpark. I'm talking about Moniak, Randolph, Stott, even these Bohm. These guys do not make a living driving out of the park. And in today's age in the MLB, you're raising guys to change your swings and hit balls out of the ballpark. Why are we doing that with these guys? That's what the Red Sox tried to do to Benintendi his last year there. They tried to change him into a home run hitter when he was a doubles hitter, and it did not work out for him. So
Kepler and Kingery.
I think instead of developing these guys to maximize the skills they bring, they're trying to change the way that they play the game altogether, and it's just causing a massive breakdown in this organization. You want to draft power guys that can go hit long balls and help breed their swing? Go draft them. Don't try and draft a guy for being good at what he's doing and then try and just change that altogether. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, Timmy, I heard you mumble Scott Kingery in there, and that's a prime example. A guy who come up his rookie season, hit 275 with like 4 home runs, but he was hitting balls in the gap constantly. Gabe Kapler and the organization does the whole launch angle statistics stuff with him. Sure, he hits 20 home runs, but he hits 242, and he's never the same hitter again.
Scott Kingery is like 5'9". What business do you think he has being a home run hitter?
He doesn't. And that's the point
about that one.
Like Jimmy Rollins is like 5'9", 5'10", and yeah, he had decent pop, but nobody ever tried to make him a home run hitter. They just let him play baseball.
I like this question. How do you guys feel about the Phillies bench players? I'll go last. I feel this is actually a stronger bench than most. Timmy?
I like the bench players. We got a certain amount of people that can come in and play anywhere. Like for instance, when Brum got hurt, we had Nunez. That's his name, right? Nunez?
Munoz.
Yeah, you're talking about Yaro Munoz?
Yeah. He come out and play third base, but I know he could play short and second base. Like, we have players who able to play different positions, who actually get on base and not afraid to swing the bat. So I like that bench a lot.
Ryan?
I'm not particularly fond of the bench currently as it stands. That's because some of our bench players are currently in the lineup.
True.
There's a middle infielder that's going to eventually return to the bench.
Excuse me,
sir. There's a middle infielder that's eventually going to return to the bench because the return of Gene Segura is inevitable. Vierling, unfortunately, I said as good as he's playing right now, he's probably a bench player. Derek Hall's a bench player. So if we had everybody up and healthy, I would say that our bench is probably a little bit above average. You've got a power left-handed bat in Derek Hall that could come off the bench. You've got your utility guy in Matt Vierling that's playing pretty well. He can play third base as well as all corner or as well as all outfield positions. But the big piece for me that makes this like actually an okay bench is Garrett Stubbs. I mean, Garrett Stubbs is a heck of a backup catcher.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so I'd say the bench is mediocre, even when our starters are in, and you've got our normal bench guys, Didi Gregorius, et cetera, et cetera. Garrett Stubbs is a fantastic backup catcher. I'm not taking anything away from Garrett Stubbs. However, what I think that most teams have that the Phillies don't have, it's great that they have a couple of super utility guys. They don't have a guaranteed to make big contact bat off the bench. I'm talking like your Matt Stairs rips one of the night kind of guy. And it's something that the Phillies had previously done pretty well throughout the years. And this year they just don't have that. They've got a bunch of utility guys. They decided to go and get glove guys on the bench, which doesn't help when you're, tied in the bottom of the ninth. Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore because pitchers aren't really hitting.
RIP.
So to me, you're missing that big bat off the bench. And yeah, so I give them like middle of the road 6 or 7 out of 10.
I think their bench could be a little bit above average once the lineup returns, but that's kind of the same way I felt about their bullpen. I feel like their bullpen's kind of overachieving across the board, in all honesty. And to touch on their bullpen, I put out a tweet yesterday that I think last night, although while they won and he got out of it, Sir Anthony Dominguez showed exactly why he shouldn't be the closer.
Yes, Ryan's dog's barking.
But yeah, I saw that tweet, Ryan. I didn't get to watch the game last night, but good.
Yeah, so I live in Florida. I'm actually in Central Florida, so the game is an in-market game for me, which means I did not get to watch it. However, I obviously, as soon as the game is over, I watch highlights, I watch the pitch cast, I see everything that went on. Dominguez was struggling. It's good that he got out of it. But to Ryan's point, I feel like Brad Hand would still be a better option in the permanent closer role than Sir Anthony Dominguez. Dominguez could and should be a setup guy. He and Jury's familiar. Jose Alvarado, even Corey Knebel has looked better. Those guys should all be setup guys to get to Brad Hand. Obviously, we were blessed in 08, Madsen to Lidge, the bridge to Lidge. We're not going to see something like that. However, at this point in time, I think it should be Brad Hand as our closer.
Yeah, and it just, I mean, he's an all-star closer, at one point in his life. Damn.
We can barely hear him. You're fine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tim.
At this point, like Ryan was saying, he was the all-star closer.
Talking to Ryan. Give him a treat. Timmy, go.
But he was the all-star closer. And right now, he has the best stuff to be the closer for the Phillies. Yeah, we signed Knebel to be the closer, but obviously he didn't have it. And I like the Sir Anthony as the eighth setup guy to get to him because he throws hard. And then you got Hand who throws the off-speed stuff and gets them all off balance.
Well, that's why I was saying Alvarado. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ryan.
This fits like a glove. Back to what I was saying of don't fix what ain't broken. Don't fix what ain't broken with your prospects. Sir Anthony Dominguez is a 1.12 ERA, not pitching in the ninth inning. Why would we make him pitch in the ninth inning when we have a guy who was an all-star closer 3 years ago? I think it's just the fact that it's a lefty. And I get, wanting to do the split, have them share time in the ninth inning. That's fine. But I think we're starting to lean a little bit too heavily on Sir Anthony to be the guy as he's had the last few save opportunities. So I think that needs to change. I think that they need to go back to what is not broken. And I think Sir Anthony's just missing it, that it factor. When you're a closer, Frank asked me a question on his show the other day or earlier today. Who would I rather have, Billy Wagner or Jonathan Papelbon? And the answer is Jonathan Papelbon. Dude was absolutely nuts. He was a terrible teammate, but that guy had a bulldog mentality in the ninth inning. That guy was getting out of it. He was going to slam the door in your face, lock it, and throw the key away. And that's exactly what a closer should be. So that being said, that's not Sir Anthony Dominguez. And yeah, I mean, Hand could do it. I mean, even Hand to a certain extent isn't that guy. You got to be nasty as a closer. Alvarado has the perfect closer's mentality, but not the perfect closer stuff. So,
I mean, no, he's got the stuff. He just can't control it. He's got the stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's allowed 4 hits and struck out 20 guys in his last 9 1/3 innings since coming back from AAA.
Yeah, which is good. He throws 100-mile-per-hour fastball and then comes down with
it's a 100-mile-an-hour sinker.
I'm sorry.
And then throws a 94-mile-an-hour cutter.
It's fast.
He's got closer stuff. He just can't. Exactly. He has no control over it.
Yeah, he has great stuff, but I just don't. I don't understand it. It just doesn't make sense to me that if a guy's doing something really well in the 8th inning, why would you move him to the 9th inning? I feel like
Wagner was hurt. I feel like Wagner was hurt a ton when he became a Phillies closer.
Yeah, because he was with the Astros before the Phillies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he went to the Mets.
Taking the Astros. We have a history of taking the Astros closers. Maybe we should go take theirs.
I'm open to it.
But is it still Presley?
Yeah, Presley right now.
Hopefully it's not Neris, thank God. He leads the league in appearances.
Really?
Hector Neris?
Yeah. Hector Neris leads the AL in appearances.
Oh, wow.
Because he's pitching to the tune of a sub-3 ERA, I think. What a jackass.
Look, Ryan, you and I had talked about this a couple weeks ago. It was just one of those situations that just wasn't going to work in Philadelphia.
No, I'm not even mad that we got rid of him because it wasn't going to work out here. If it works out somewhere else, that's fine. That's one of them losses you got to be okay cutting.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
It's like fantasy football. Jose Mesa. Who was the dude that had 6 fingers on his throwing hand? That guy probably threw an insane changeup. It was oh gosh. He played for the Phillies. It was his initials were AA. I can't remember his name. I'll have to look it up, but he had 6 fingers on his throwing hand. His changeup must have been insane to get all that
friction.
Friction on the baseball. That'd be nuts. But
what else? What else do we want to talk about? John Rocker.
Okay, MLB draft.
Ryan, I got the name for you.
Okay.
Anthony Well, I can't pronounce that last name.
Yeah, I can't. I see the list. What's up?
I think Anthony Alfonseca.
Yeah,
A-L-F-
yeah, there we go.
Alfonseca?
Alfonseca.
Yeah, that's
Anthony
it.
Alfonseca. That's
Okay.
what it was. Yep. But
Okay.
yeah. So that's a MLB draft. I don't know if you guys have done your research yet. I'm so ready.
I'm not ready, so we'll have to do this next week. Any more questions from the peanut gallery over here?
The MLB draft is in 3 days.
Okay. So
we'll
do a recap show next week.
Okay, that's fine.
I get my research done. Sorry.
Yeah, I can do the research throughout the week. I wasn't ready for one today. I won't lie to you.
I wasn't ready either.
No more questions from our comment section.
Sad face #Gavin Cross.
So just for all of our fans who are watching, we are trying to branch out as much as possible. Ryan and I will both be way more active on Twitter. We are doing everything we can to get more followers. So we need your help as our loyal fans to find ways to help us get followers. Literally do everything you can. Ryan's doing everything he can right now, praying for it. But seriously,
can't blink. Fuck.
#the boys are cute. Look, if that hashtag sticks with us, let's fire away with it. Whatever. We're looking for as many followers as we can get.
I'm looking real cute if that works.
Yeah, I'm looking to get the website even more upgraded than it already is. I've been on top of it. It's getting better and better every day. I'm getting better at web design every day, something that I'm not really good at.
Stacey has a point, Bill.
Honestly, make a TikTok. Just need one viral video. Well, maybe today's episode is where we pull the TikTok from.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably the hardest all three of us have left.
Yeah. But listen, you also, as fans, you also saw that Ryan and I both did solo shows this week. Something that we are going to continue doing. We just want to be, not in a bad sense, but we want to be in your face a little bit more. We want you to see us, since we're cute and all. You guys need to see us.
We got that dog in us.
we got that dog in us. Reese Hoskins hits a home run.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
but again, outside of everything that we have there, that's all I've got for you today. Ryan, you got anything before we sign off?
Go Phils.
Timmy?
Go Phils.
#Gavin Cross. #Kumar Rocker. #MLB Draft.
Everything that Ryan just said. We'll get to it later. Thanks for joining us on BSing Sports, where we do a little